If you have tight hips and find getting into this deep squat position difficult, then take these 3 simple tests you can do at home to find out if you lack mobility, and stay till the end and I'll show you what drills you can do to improve. Firstly, sit at the edge of a chair with an upright posture and your hands on your hips or by your side. Internally rotate both hips by moving your feet up and away from your center line. An ideal range is to get your shin about 45 degrees from the table, without any compensations such as hiking the hips or flexing the spine. Be sure to record yourself so that you have a benchmark for progress. Next, we're going to test external rotation. So bring one leg over the other, your ankle resting on the thigh of the opposite leg. Let your knee drop to the floor and see where it rests naturally. The aim here is to have the shin about parallel to the floor. Test on both sides. Again, keep an eye out for compensations such as the hips moving or the spine bending. Finally, find a flat surface like a bench or a table. Sit at the edge of the table, then lay back with both knees bent off the end. Grab your left leg at the knee and pull it towards your chest, and keep your right leg on the table completely relaxed. Repeat the sequence with the other leg. Here we want the test side hip and thigh to be flat on the table, in line with the torso and without compensation. We want the knee that's hanging off the end to naturally be at 90 degrees, again without compensation. Now that's the testing complete, and here's what to do if you need to improve your mobility in any of those areas. If you struggled with the first test on internal rotation, then take a seat with your feet wide apart. Take your hand and press down one of the knees towards the floor. Be sure to keep your bum on the floor on that side so that you're not compensating with your hips. Hold this stretch for 2 minutes, and then drive the knee into the hand and create isometric contractions. Ramp up the intensity over the course of 10 seconds until you're pushing at 100% or as much as you can. Then reverse that movement and drive your knee towards the floor without the hand on it. 10 seconds again, increasing the intensity. At the end, place your hand back on and stretch again. Use the hand to get a little bit more range in that hip joint. When you're done, repeat on the other side. If you struggle with test 2 to get your shin parallel to the floor in this position, then here's what you're going to do. You're going to get back into that position and use your hands to push your knee towards the floor while simultaneously keeping your chest up and leaning into the front shin so that you get a nice stretch in that left side hip joint. Hold that stretch for 2 minutes and then start pushing the knee into the hand. You're going to create that isometric contraction and you're going to ramp up the intensity over the course of 10 seconds, just as much as you can. Then you're going to drive the knee to the floor, taking the hand off. You're going to try and get that knee as close to the floor as you can. And then after 10 seconds, you're going to go back into the stretch. So put the arm on, lean your weight forward, chest up, lean the chest in, and get a little bit more stretch. Repeat that on both sides. If test 3 showed that your knee didn't get to 90 degrees when your leg was hanging off the end of the bench, then you've probably got tight quads. So this stretch will help. Hold it for 30 seconds on each leg and swap sides so you do 2 sets in total. If you found your leg didn't lie flat on the table during that test, then do this stretch for your hip flexors. Get into a half kneeling position, move your hips forward, squeeze the bum on the leg that's trailing, and get a little bit extra by reaching over. If you want to just find the stretch in this half kneeling position without that, come into the forward lean and squeeze your bum on the right side and just find whatever works to get that stretch in the front of the hip on the trailing leg. Practice these exercises at least every other day to get consistency, and measure your progress by taking videos when you're doing them so you can see how you're improving. And then get into positions like the deep squat as often as you can, just to get used to being in those deep positions and stretching out the limbs and getting a really good mobility, reducing that soreness, that tightness and that pain. If you're a parent over 40 like me who's not got much time but wants to move better, feel better and get stronger, then follow me and find out what you can do in just 66 days.